Welcome to RoadTripJA, the heartbeat of Jamaican roads. This is your host and guide, Dr. A. We love you. Today we're going to be starting our new feature called the Breaking News segment, in which we're going to be breaking down news, reviews, and articles concerning the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. Today our news comes to us from the years 2015 and 2016. Let's see what they had to say about it then to where we are now in 2021. Our first article comes to us from the archives of the People's National Party 2015 Achievement Bulletin. Under the caption, Building a Stronger Jamaica, Improving People's Lives. During that time period, our ruling party was the PNP, the People's National Party, and the Prime Minister at the time was the Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller. We may be confused about the origin of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project, being that it is under another's administration enforcement. I want the listenership and the viewership to know that though the project started actually in 2020, it was pre-planned by the People's National Party. They were the ones who conceptualized this idea to create the highway network. Now the plan is in physical motion in 2020, moving on into 2021. Under the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party, though this plan was conceptualized under the People's National Party. It is very important for us to get the facts so that there can be no misconception, no misappropriation of appreciation to the actual visionaries of this road network infrastructure. If we turn to page 12 of Achievements 2015, under the caption, Billions Spent on Road Construction and Rehabilitation. The government continues its push towards the development of the country's road network, spending billions on construction and rehabilitation projects. The cabinet has approved a contract to China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, CHEC, for the design, improvement, and construction of Section 1A and 1B of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. The work will involve a 43-kilometer stretch from Harbour View to Morant Bay at an estimated cost of US $385 million. So yes, 385 was initially budgeted for from 2015 for this project. This is a part of the overall segment from Harbour View to Port Antonio, covering approximately 65 kilometers of roadway. And during this time period, a contract valued at more than 1.5 billion were signed for the improvement work on the roads and the bridges under the $352 million Major Infrastructure Development Program. So that there was a step in the right direction to start the project, which 5 years later going 6 years and maybe even running into 7 years before it is actually completed. But let us see if the government can stick to their plan, though it is a different administration. That was 2015. Let us now move into 2016 and see if there are any major news articles about this same project. And let us try to find out if they correlate, if there are any discrepancies, to see if we can dissect to understand exactly what is happening and also the implications on the current project in 2021. Our second article comes to us from the Gleaner, dated June 16, 2016. And this article was penned by Jovan Johnson. The riveting caption of this article is St. Thomas Relief. Wholeness declares highways still coming to the parish in the southeast. Throughout history, after the recording of the Morant Day Rebellion by Paul Bogle, St. Thomas has become one of the neglected parish in the country of Jamaica. This parish has limited resources in comparison to its neighboring counterpart. The education system in St. Thomas is somewhat compromised, though we have quite an array of persons achieving high degrees or high level of academia achievement, but in comparisons to the infrastructures, the classroom setting, the technological advancements, St. Thomas has always been getting that which is left. The road network also has been a sore point for St. Thomas. The article says to us that faced with the concern that St. Thomas was being treated as a forgotten parish once again, Prime Minister Andrew Holness used a press conference yesterday, which had been June 15th, to assure residents that they would get a highway, though not on scale once imagined. So the scale that the PNP had proposed, the JLP now, with the shifting of power, are telling the people that yes, there is going to be a highway, but it may not be as grand as it was initially drafted by the previous administration. Police announced that the highway would include a 4-lane thoroughfare running from Harborview in St. Andrew to Bull Bay. Harborview to Bull Bay will have 4 lanes, which would be a continuation from the last project they did right after the Harborview roundabout. So they're going to be widening the road a little bit more to have 4 lanes. They said that also that this section of the highway should cover about 6.8 kilometers, 1/6 of the distance that was originally planned to run from Harborview to Morant Bay. Okay, so they are having concerns now about running it from Harborview to Morant Bay. What they are saying they're going to be doing is from Harborview, they're going to be running from Harborview to Bull Bay. Surprisingly, this is a constituent of our Prime Minister Andrew Holness's wife. So road work will be getting done in that constituent. But at this time in history, the JLP had not yet gotten all the seats along the coastline for the project. But over time, you realize that once the seats have been captivated, the tune would have changed. Initially, the Portia Simpson Miller administration announced that US $385 would have been spent to build this highway that was in 2015, running from Harborview to Port Antonio as a part of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. However, Holness now says that a similar amount of money will be spent for the improvement of road network of the southern and western section of Jamaica. So they're going to be spending $384 million for a smaller portion than what that which was initially projected. Important to note, the Prime Minister called a press conference following Finance Minister Arthur Shaw from the PNP announcement on Wednesday that the original highway plan, which Shaw said would now cost $500 million, that's US, does not make economic sense and would be reconsidered. Now, Andrew Holness is saying that he believes that this plan that they are proposing to cut portions of the road network out but charge the same amount would be a more cost-effective plan, as it would reduce the need for massive land acquisition. In fact, under the former plan, there would be a cost of approximately $120 million to acquire land and other infrastructure. In 2050, it was not yet clear how the development would change, but the downgrade of the work coincides with what Holness said would be an extension of the existing Maypen-Clarendon-Manchester road network. This means that the Maypen-Clarendon to Manchester section of the highway will be a toll road, and revenues generated from this leg will be able to partially support the loan repayment. So they are saying that of the US $384 million to cover the project, $326.5 million will come from a loan that will be finalized with the Exim Bank of China. And you will realize that it is also Czech who will be doing majority of the road work. It says that the Jamaican government will be providing the remaining 57 million US that will be outstanding. And when they say the Jamaican government, it means that the people of Jamaica or the taxpayers will be providing the rest of the money through taxation. So when you're riding on the road and you get a ticket that is supposed to go to the road construction, when you buy gas, the gas tax that was imposed a few years ago is designed to go back into road work and road maintenance. So other taxation methods would be used in order to generate revenues for this project. I think we have a very satisfactory understanding of this article. So now let us move to our article number 3. This article also comes from the Gleaner, dated July 6, 2016. The name of the author was not listed. The caption states the government has announced another modification of its plan for the Southern Coastal Highway project. So, speaking at the sectoral debate, the state minister with responsibility for work, which was at the time Everald Warrington, said that the government would go back to some of the original plan. He said the original proposal for a 4-lane highway from Harborview to Albion in St. Thomas will be pursued, and a 2-lane from Albion to the Yallis Bridge. Well, this was the initial project that was proposed, so they're reverting now to the idea that this would make practical sense. So they would have done the 4 lanes from Albion to Yallis Bridge, but there is a challenge with the bridge network, and the infrastructure to lay the bridge in its initial stage was very costly, and as such, they would not want to tamper with the bridge in its current position. So ideally, a 2-lane thoroughfare on the bridge would be the best situation. Instead of having, as the Prime Minister Andrew Holness had announced, for the previous construction, a 4-lane from Harborview to Bull Bay, then 3 lanes from Bull Bay to Grand Spen, and then 2 lanes from Grand Spen to Albion and Yallis River Bridge, that there was change. And it was stated that the China Harbour Engineering Company, Czech, would have made those modifications at no extra cost. When you hear that sound, you already know what time it is. It is time for us to do a check-up to see if we are operating in accordance to the manual. Yes, you may be asking, what manual, what checkup, we're on the road. Indeed, in order for your body to be ready to go on the road, it has to be in a full service state. So the tip that I want to leave with you today is remember to get regular exercise. You need exercise to keep your blood flowing. You need exercise to activate the muscles. You need exercise to build immunity. You need exercise to ensure the body does not waste away. Remember, in order to be wealthy, you have to be healthy. And that is our tip for today on Road Trip JA. Exercise at least once a day. Now for our fourth article, which comes to us from the Gleaner, and it is dated December 13th, 2016. The author is unspecified. The NAA National Work Agency say no timeline yet for the South Coast Highway improvement work. So in essence, this article just went to surmise that the project that was set, the project from St. Andrew, St. Thomas, and Portland, which was set, has no timeline. So they have it in plans, they have writings, they have documentation of it to be ratified, to be started. However, it has not yet started, and they are not giving any timeline. The government in June of 2016 signed a $384 million contract with Czech, who, as we know, will be the contractors. These are just a few articles that we have gathered from 2015 and 2016 concerning the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. If you'd like to get more updates on our articles, our presentations, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And please don't forget to turn your notification on so that you will be in the know when a video is released. Thank you for your time and do enjoy. Be safe on the roads. From RoadTripJA, the heartbeat of Jamaica's roads. This is your excursion extraordinaire, Dr. A.